Thank you very much. That's not the right one. The leopard shepherds are after me. In the interim I shall continue to paint giant spots on passing horses. Leonard Kennard called me intrepid, and my work a statement on the zeitgeist, but the leopard shepherds disagreed, while accidentally rounding up some of the horses. I know what they have to go through, the leopard shepherds. Some of them leopards have weapons, but the horses are mostly unarmed. I stumbled into a shack to escape the weather. The whole place was decrepit apart from a leopard, frantically trying to remove his markings. I called the leopard shepherds, but they only laughed. That's one of your horses, one of the ones you painted. Don't bother us again, they said. Then they hung up. The leopard bared its fangs and began to growl, as if it had a sore throat.
Strepsils.
Thank you. This poem's for a friend of mine who's not here tonight. When he comes around my house, he always sits like this. And I said, why do you always sit like that? And he said, ever since I lost my hair, I miss having a fringe. So this is for him. I have probed the depths of literature, but my friend Mark only remembers the one poem I wrote, the one called Plop. And it goes something like this. Plop, plop, plop. At nights I reach right in, and I thrust my hand deep into the fiery furnace of metaphor, and I grab the human condition, and I throttle it, and I squeeze the truth out of it, and I tear words from the sky, and I wrestle with sentences like a demon. I am the king of ink, monarch of the pen, my nib moving faster and faster as my fingers grip the shaft of the biro, spilling onto the page beauteous visions, truth, honesty, existential angst, and what it means to be alive. And yet, Mark's favourite poem of mine is Plop, Plop, Plop. Thank you. This is a brand new poem only written today. Gerald, come quick, the donkey's been glue sniffing again, and the llamas are on marijuana, and the ostrich is talking French, and the pigs are drinking whiskey, and the goats keep smirking in a knowing kind of way, and the hens are on crystal meths, and the ducks no longer quack because they're all smackheads, and the livestock are engaged in a smash and grab at the local co-op, and the pigeons are mostly well behaved, and the bull is addicted to macaroons, and the geese have called the police because a sow is illegally building a shed, and the chickens are all osculating, and the sheepdog is hiding on the onboard toilet from the ticket inspector, and the mule has been stopped at customs and immigration for being a drugs mule, and the zebra is looking amorous, and where the hell did we even get a zebra from in the first place? And the lambs have all gone to Poundland, and the horse is on horse, and there's some crazy sheep on sheep action going on in our living room, and they're filming it for YouTube. Gerald, come quick, Why the hell have you got your hand up that cow's arse? I'm just going to finish with this one. It's called The Night That Something Happened at Ed's Place, of which we will not speak.
Ha.
Primate lads in Primark knockoffs, hanging round dismal in the early evening sun, with their long bare legs and their air of nonchalant engagement, eyeing up girls and pretending to be hard. Hey lads, what time's the footy? Nathan has always been an oddity. Nathan, or Nath, like a waif, like a mistake, Nathan, with his clipped, rounded vowels, and his penchant for Yves Saint Laurent, and for accidentally placing his hand on his best friend's leg again. The pack lads snarl their deep-throated Lonsdale mature guffaw and laugh off Nathan's insinuations, his hints and allegations, and dismiss as a failed attempt at humour the rumour that Nathan, or Nath, once asked Math to take off his shirt and then licked him on the nipple. With plastic tubs of cheap Lidl's cider, the lads congregate near the duck pond and slowly get rat-arsed, while Nath sticks to a gin and tonic, surprisingly, and makes witty retorts about the likelihood of England reaching the semis and symbolist poetry of the 1920s. Math gets drunk and says he'd like to shag Vanessa McGriggins. Dan gets drunk and says he'd like to shag Vanessa McGriggins. Cy gets drunk and says he'd like to shag Vanessa McGriggins. Nath gets tipsy and says there are plenty of people that he fancies as well. Paul gets drunk and just honks up. One night in the summer, the Primate lads, ears numbed by clubbing, crash at Ed's place, simultaneously and strangely bereft of dates, and yet hummed up and wired up by the pounding beat and the tone, and the cruel sexualization of the laser flows, beat-pound body storm of gyrating forms on the dance floor, electric and alcoholic, semi-naked, drunken, sprawling lads, blind to their own prejudices and eyes tight shut, each enjoys, one by one, strangely, a form not female, and yet equally, or if not even more pleasurable. Only in the morning, one of them remembers that Nath had left the club early to watch that week's edition of the Culture Show, and that's when it all goes very quiet. The Primate lads in the bus station the next morning seem somewhat less chipper than previously, and nobody can remember very clearly what exactly happened, or what time the football starts, or who's even playing. Thank you very much.